Hi friends and fellow Earth Angels, it's Gladys, and welcome back to another one of my weekly Sunday card readings. And this spread will start by covering October 4th to the 10th, or whenever you're guided to watch, as I always intend these to be timeless readings, meaning you can come back at any time to receive guidance and insight with any of the readings in my video playlists. So welcome. This week, I'm going to do this spread a little differently. I was guided to work with guides this week, so I'm just going to really show you the cards right away, kind of get a plan for this spread. So I'm going to start by pulling an Archangel Michael card, a card from Jesus, a card from Angels and Ancestors, and a card from Love and Light, which I use as my God cards, connecting with Creator. And then under each one, I'm going to pull a card of assistance, what wisdom this guide is offering you to surrender. And then I will finish with what that guide's prayer for you is. So it's a little different. It's somewhat like pick a card, but I'm not going to put like the timestamps in the description box below, because my intention is that the entire reading flows together. So you might get more from one guide than others, but my intention is that you will receive insight from the entire reading, education, inspiration throughout the entire reading. So really just tune into your heart, take a few deep breaths before we begin. I just kind of want to jump into it because there's more cards involved, and I like to keep these readings between, or at least under an hour. So I'm going to start by opening up space, inviting in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the divine mother and father, and all their holy beings of light who would like to assist. I want to connect specifically with the Archangel Michael, Jesus, the angels and ascended masters, and Creator, Father, Love. And I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good and the best and highest good of all concerned. All right, so I will start with Michael's message. Michael, what message do you have for the EarthAngel Collective this week, October 4th to the 10th. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to do all the cards at once. So, Jesus, what message do you have for the collective, October 4th through the 10th? And angels and ascended masters, what guide wants to come out this week? There we go. And Creator, Father, Love, what message do you have for the collective this week? It's the most important thing you want them to hear, see, feel, and know. October 4th to the 10th. Okay, friends, so let me just put these away. So we'll start with the messages, and then we'll get their message of surrender and prayer. So guides are always really important to connect with. They've always been my friends and confidants. Sometimes the experiences we have in life is beyond human comprehension. So problem solving, trying to make change in your life, experiences that seem overwhelming and out of your control that activates fear. it's always helpful to have guides, masters, these beings of light to connect with. So these guides I've considered as teachers, masters, guides that I would go to for support when I couldn't see the light in the darkness. So, the energy, I feel like as I'm channeling today, I feel like the energy, we're in like this neutral space. And I keep seeing the words true colors coming up and out. The next few weeks or so, or this last quarter of this year, we're in a space of observation, getting information, and asking questions. So that when it's time to make change, when it's time to take action, it's coming from the pull of the heart and not the mental energy of the ego. So clarity this week, I believe, seeing people's true colors. Now, our true test here is learning how to love all people when they're ornery, when they're confused, when they're sad, when they're frustrated, when they're joyful, when they're happy, when they're acting a little crazy. We're learning how to imprint the energy of love, right? Jesus said, love thy neighbor. Jesus knew that your neighbor was going to be different from you. Jesus knew that the neighbor was going to think differently, was going to feel differently, maybe more challenged, maybe more confused. So how do we set our boundaries? How do we fill ourselves up and continue to send people that are hard to love genuine, compassionate love? Now, there are some people who are going through such a difficult time that they need space. We've been talking about these codependent relationships. In the spiritual community, you hear a lot about the narcissist, empath energies, right? So if there's any type of abuse, if there's any type of loss of power, it's always important to separate from that energy. But be mindful how you're projecting energy towards these people, places, things, and ideas, right? We want to maintain love in our heart, even, and here comes the sirens, Michael, even in the eyes of deceit or hurt or betrayal or heartache. That's truly the spiritual growth, is how do we maintain our compassion for humanity and love for the self. Just because you're praying for somebody, just because you want to make change in your life, doesn't mean that you have to pull everybody along with you, that everybody has to believe what you do, or understand the space that you're in. So, with these true colors, I think the message that I'm getting is know that your environment and the people you're around may look different, and that's okay. And you can still love them from a distance without being actively involved. Sometimes that destitute, that despondence, that I'm so fed up with this is what gets people to change, right? So know that you are the leaders and enforcers of compassionate love, but the divine also knows that it can be very trying in the human experience. So this week we have the guides to assist you, to give it up, to release it, to surrender, right? When we can't see any other way through. So first guide, Michael, this is your life's purpose. I love it. The prayer says, Archangel Michael, you know the details of my divine life purpose, and I ask you to help me to be aligned with my goals. Please clearly guide my actions so that I'm taking the best steps to fully manifest my wonderful and meaningful career. So purpose doesn't always have to be job, time, money connected. Purpose, I believe, for a lot of earth angels is here hugging the planet, right? Our ability to love unconditionally and shine that light unto the world. I'm seeing healers gathering together with like-minded, loving beings, friends, soulmates, and sending love to the planet. This is how you can help the planet without getting actively involved. Remember, when somebody is in the I know, and it's from a place of ego, when somebody's in that space, they're right according to their experiences and what they know, right? But that energy can also put a force field around them because there's no convincing otherwise. So earth angels, I feel like, are at an impasse. We've said all the things, we've been the inspiration, we're being the light. What now? Surrender. This is your life purpose. And like I said, we're in this place of neutrality, it feels. I just feel like it's the liminal space, the space in between action or endings and new beginnings. We're in this liminal space. So a lot of us are like, well, what do I do now? As we practice this surrender, know that we're gathering data to make the best choices and decisions going forward when it's time. So a lot of you might be getting clarity. A lot of you may be seeing truths. A lot of you may be confused and asking questions. That's the space that I've been in. I've been in a place of feeling confused and not always knowing what the right steps forward are and feeling like I'm wasting time and I should be doing something and I haven't been guided otherwise. Now, I've been in those places many times before, so I know for me it's time to recharge, rest. So I feel like Michael is saying call on him for assistance if you're struggling with this or having challenge with this pathway that you're on. Let me see. All right, so Michael, what would benefit the collective to surrender? Oh, so this card just flipped out, so I'm going to take it. Surrender to joy. A key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Again, that could be part of your purpose. Remember, our purpose is to be an example. It says indulge in random acts of smiling. During both the hard and easy times, keep surrendering to more joy. So, joy, the energy of joy is in the solar plexus. I'm sorry, cancel that. Sacral chakra. Yes. The energy of joy is in the sacral chakra. It's pleasure, it's laughter, it's play. So if you're being challenged with what's my purpose, what am I doing with my life? I'm not happy in this position that I'm in, this job, this family. Where am I going? What am I doing? A lot of us are in space, like in this, I don't want to say empty space, but it's this abyss. And we're kind of just, I don't know how many times I've heard clients say in the last few months, it feels like Groundhog's Day. Like I'm just getting up and doing the same things over and over again. We're getting into that like routine and we're ready to do something. But like I said, it's not necessarily time yet. So how can you laugh and play and sing and dance, right? Knowing that that can be an activator of love on this planet. I've been saying since 2016 that this 9-year cycle from 2017 to 2025 is reintegrating the energy of true love on this planet. So earth angels have been front loaded with learning self-love, self-esteem, worth, value, confidence, empowerment, right? Using our voice, breaking old karmic cycles of limiting beliefs, and breaking out of the critic thinking, breaking out of the I'm not good enough, and really coming into your power as intuitives and healers and messengers and guides and astrologers and nurses and social workers and teachers in these caregiving fields to bring light in. And so Michael's prayer for you this week: Michael, what's your prayer for the collective this week? There we go. There's 2 here. We have balance. Thank you, angels, for bringing my life into balance, right? Joy, play, action, and shine your light. Of course, Archangel Uriel. Thank you, Uriel, for helping me to share my light with the world. See? This is your life purpose. Joy, sharing your light with the world, teaching about balance, the balance of the masculine and the feminine energies, right? We've been working on this. Let me see. Let me get these in here. There we go. Working on the balance of the masculine and feminine energies, right? Rest, recovery, recharge, recoup. Then taking inspired action from the pull of the heart, right? We live in a world that's so action dominant, right? We've always got to be doing something. But like I said, a lot of earth angels are burnt out because of it. So how can you activate your own love, joy, laughter, and play to be a beacon of light on this planet? So, Jesus, what's your message? Love one another as I have loved you. I'm telling you, this is a common theme here. Coming together in community, right? Community, love, support, kindness. Remembering the love of the Father. So I'm looking at this child here, gifting Jesus flowers and receiving. So it makes me think of, earth angels. We can be the master teachers on this planet. And sometimes we can forget that we also need to receive, right? So ask yourself this week, how is the universe gifting to you? How are you allowing yourself to receive so that you can be filled up and shine your light? If you're in the space of giving yourself, check in, right? And see, how are you allowing others to love you back, right? We're here to reintegrate the energy of true love on the planet. But you also have to work through your own heartache and betrayal and be open to trusting God and the divine, trusting the masters that they want to gift you signs, sacred symbols. They want to gift you love. And they do that by sending people into your life. They do that by people offering you kindness. So if somebody wants to buy you a coffee this week, or somebody wants to offer you some assistance, or somebody wants to come visit you, allow people to gift you time, energy, their money. Allow people to give to you. And all you have to do is receive with an open heart. This is how we love one another. right? We have to also be open to receiving Jesus's love, knowing that we're worthy and deserving. And from there, you can give more genuine, pure, healing love. So Jesus, what would you like to see this collective surrender this week? Whoa. Surrender to your full power. It says your life is calling you to step in to your full power rather than playing it small. And again, this is the part of opening to love on deeper levels. Surrendering the habit of people-pleasing. Speak your needs and be true to yourself, right? Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. This is what I was talking about earlier. Allow yourself to receive. Part of that is being filled up, right? Part of your power is being able to shine your light, being joyful in the world, being an example of love. But if we're always in a space of doing something to get something, or there's this need to please for fear of persecution or the person will leave your life, it just pulls you out of natural alignment with the essence of who you are. And that's where resentment can creep in, right? That's where bitterness can creep in. Again, surrender to fear of intimacy. This is that love that I was talking about. You are ready to let love in. Compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart, right? This is what I was talking about with Jesus. Love one another as I have loved you. But start with allowing that love to come into your life, allowing yourself to receive from the divine guidance, support, right? God doesn't want you to love his people and do for his people because if you feel out of guilt. God doesn't want you to God doesn't want you to it's like I just keep saying because of fear of punishment. God doesn't want you to take certain actions for fear of, well, maybe I'm not a good person and God won't love me, right? As soon as you have thoughts like that, pull back. Why am I doing this? Is it something that lights me up? Is it something that makes me feel inspired, right? But remember, we can't continue to give if we haven't learned how to receive ourselves. So even connecting with Jesus, asking Jesus to show you his definition of love, right? Love thy neighbor, even when they think differently, even when they're being difficult, even when they're being mean. It doesn't mean you have to prove anything to that person. It doesn't mean that you have to keep trying to fix them. There's nothing wrong with surrender, waving the white flag. All right, I get it. And then pulling back, praying for that person and continuing to live your life in joy, right? Let me see here. All right, Jesus, what's your prayer for the collective this week? Transformation. Archangel Zadkiel. Thank you, Zadkiel, for supporting me to transform from my past challenges. So, if you know you struggle with these things, ask Jesus, ask Archangel Zadkiel to show you. This is how you can surrender that energy to them, show you. I asked a few months ago Mother Nature to teach me patience, to teach me her patience and her understanding of cycles and rhythms and divine timing. And I find myself constantly challenged with impatience, right? In order for me to learn patience, I have to experience impatience. And I know it right away now because I know what it feels like in my body. I feel like, come on, let's go. Come on, let's get this done. What's taking so long? I'm like, oh, this is my stuff. Thank you, Mother Nature. Bless your heart. You're showing me how to be in the moment, be present, and allow things to flow naturally, right? This is this new way of thinking, this new way of operating that so many more people are awakening to. It's not new, it's just been dormant for a very long time, right? Operating in the flow of the divine feminine, right? How do I feel today? What am I going to eat today? What do I feel like having, right? And then breaking down those old, well, I've got to eat 3 square meals a day, and I've got to have this protein and this vegetable, and then, right? So we're swinging into joyful experiences. So you're transforming your way of receiving, your way of loving. And in order for you to evolve in that, you have to have these less than ideal experiences to understand it. So having patience with your process. And so, like I said, some of you, I think this is important. Ask yourself, how are you open to love? How are you receiving love? What do you even believe about love, right? That's been my quest. That's what I've been exploring, right? Many different facets of love, my past, my present, my future. I just started reading a book called A Journey to Love by Marianne Williamson. Apparently it's a book that's been out forever, and I'm just now being guided to open it up because I've been on this self-discovery journey, doing this very deep healing work these last couple of years. I know it's calling me now, and I feel like, you know, you're watching this channel because we're aligned in an energy, right? You're called to it for a reason. So you're being asked to understand what deeper levels of love means to you. And then from there, you attract new friendships, new partnerships, new coworkers, right? You have to know who you are, what your needs are, how you feel, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. You know, I love animals. I love my dog. I can't be with a partner who doesn't like animals. See, it's like simple. So I had to explore all these parts of me, right? What my full power is, where am I people pleasing, where am I negating what's important for me, just so people will stay in my life. This fear of intimacy, connection with myself and creator first. And in it you transform. So the master, the sage. Be devoted and committed. I mean, I love it. He's writing with the peacock feather. This is like your colors, right? This is like your power. Be devoted and committed to being a beacon of love on this planet for God. Let me see here. Oh, here it is. This deck is relatively new to me, so I want to read the sage means. Where are you? So, it says, be willing to go the whole road and back again. This will allow you to be the best you can possibly be. So sometimes maybe you feel like, well, I've been working on this and I've been doing this and more comes up and I feel like I'm never going to get it, right? We're kind of in layers here. It says the sage represents the wise one within. When this card arises, it shows that you are preparing to become a great and insightful teacher to your peers. It guides you to take notes, as the wandering yogi is on this card, because your knowledge and life experiences can impart incredible insights to those with whom you come into contact, right? So it'll be time for us to move, shift, grow, share our information with people who come and go, right? We've learned how to be an individual, empowered, strong within ourselves. But we're also even more powerful when we're working together with others, when light is attracting light, when we're energy exchanging back and forth, right? Our energy lifts higher. So it says this card is also about observation and becoming more aware of who you are and of all your inner workings, because that awareness can bring more clarity to your decisions. I mentioned this in the beginning about observation, right? What we see in others with the appearance of good, bad, or indifferent is a reflection of something within us, right? So if you're fired up about somebody being mean, a bully, a critic, right, to somebody else, explore the idea that you could be really hard on yourself. You could be self-critical. You could be pushing yourself unknowingly, unconsciously, right? The sage is there to teach you, right? So journaling this week, observing your own reactions to things could be super powerful. What does the sage suggest you surrender? Deeper message. What does the sage suggest you remember? That's a mouthful. What does the sage suggest you surrender this week? Wow. No matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Stay centered to help you resolve the issue more quickly. Oh boy. So, in order for things to change, we have to see and become aware of what needs to change. If you're energetically imprinting in drama, how do I want to say this? If you're finding joy, it sounds so weird coming out of my mouth. If you're finding some kind of scratch that, cancel that, not joy. If you're getting some kind of pleasure out of others' drama, challenges. It's so hard for me to even say it because we're all so loving, but we can totally get caught up in the ego. We can totally get caught up of the drama into things. See, I told ya. See, I told you shouldn't have done that. Oh, see, karma's gonna get ya. Oh, so I feel like this is real truth, right? I have to be honest. See this week where you're feeding drama. The sage is trying to teach you, because what happens is that energy starts creating in our own life. Where are you taking pleasure, right? Where are you using your words and your energy? I'm going to leave that one there. I'm going to leave the sage. I'm going to leave the sage because we all can do it. We all can feed into this. It's not something that there's no perfect person. So this would be a really great week to explore jealousy, like ego, aha, haha, told you so. Serves them right. You know, that boss, that coworker. It goes on all levels into the entire planet, right? How can we, that's how, when that energy will like lower your vibration and it opens you up to different kinds of manipulation and control. So again, it's just something to look at and become aware of. This is not shaming, this is not blaming, but if you want to evolve and grow, we have to be the light. We have to be the joy, right? We have to have balance. And we can't do that if we're so focused on what other people are doing, or even like drama TV. My candle just went out. Even that couldn't have been any more perfect timing. When we get involved in this, when we start poking our nose in other people's misery or other people's what we think is right, the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. And I've done this many times. So like I said, none of us are invincible, but the sage is saying this is the pathway to healing. It's a pathway to spiritual growth. The Dalai Lama is still on this planet for a reason. He still has more to learn, grow, and assimilate in the spiritual, right? This is a journey. It's not like it's not a point A to point B. It's a soul adventure for many lifetimes, right? So maybe working on this week, agreeing to unplug from what's numbing you out. What are you avoiding? What emotions, right? And it will get easy to get consumed with dramas of the world, dramas in our community, drama on TV, right? Staying centered will help you resolve this issue more quickly. Right? I'm not saying anybody's perfect, but this is a way, it's a pathway. All right, Sage. Man, be devoted and committed to healing, right? Write that stuff down. Get it out of your body. Woo! That was a tough one. All right. So, how are you creating drama in your own thoughts, right? Your own critic, your own bully. That's life homework, friends. All right, Sage, what prayer do you have for the collective this week? Signs from heaven. Thank you, heaven, for sending me reminders of your presence. Feathers, pennies. The angel numbers are series of 4s. God's numbers are 0s. The 2s have faith, everything's going to be okay. The 3s are ascended masters. The 5s changes upon you. 7s are about spiritual insight. 8s are about abundance, or also could be about cycles, right? Check in if you see 8s. If, it's saying abundance is coming to you, so be aware of the repeated patterns and cycles that you're in that are not benefiting you. 9s are about completion, right? It's the end of a cycle. So pay attention to the birds, the insects, the wildlife that's coming up into your life. They'll have a lot. The sage will send you signs. And again, this isn't shame. This isn't like, see, you're doing it again. It's more of, we're reminding you because we know you want to heal and grow on deeper levels. So we're going to show you, and we still love you. And the important thing is, we're going to show you the challenges. We're going to show you truth, and we still love you, and we want more for you. And we know what part of your plan is, and we're going to help you stay on track, right? That's the healthy way of thinking, instead of like punishment, right? I have to please God, so I have to do all these good things, even if I'm tired, I'm burnt, and I'm depleted. So, God, what message do you have? Oh, man. Celebrate the beautiful gift of life. That's why we're here. Not to get caught up and consumed by drama, right? Let the heavens be glad and the earth rejoice. Let the sea and everything in it shout its praise. Psalm 96:11. Again, 11, new beginnings. This is like a good luck, make a wish. Celebrate the gift of life, right? The beautiful gift of life. This is, again, where we're starting with Michael. That's your purpose. That's what your purpose is in all facets. And there are so many different things that you can do to celebrate life. I took a nap on Friday. After I finished eating, I was just, the sleepies just overcame me. Here comes the sirens. But I still had work that I needed to do. And I surrendered into the nap. And I was like, I need to energetically fill up. I was like drowsy, tired. And it was the full moon. And, I'm at that point in my cycle where my body's getting squeezed. And so I just knew that I needed to receive rest. And I'll tell you, it was the best 2-hour nap, I think, than any night's sleep I had in weeks. And it just felt so good. And that nap, I woke up from that nap feeling so good. And I'm like, this is living. That felt so good. And I just felt like a new person. So surrender into and listen to the wisdom of your body and celebrate the moments, even if it's a nap, even if it's a delicious piece of fruit, even if you made something yummy. How can you surrender into the simple pleasures of life? Fresh brewed coffee, an ocean sunset, time with friends. This is a really great way to finish up this reading, right? How do we celebrate? Also, too, we have Jesus, right? Celebrating Jesus's love, that he's this master teacher here for us, to assist us, to guide us, to be a beacon of light. All right, God. So I'm just seeing the mother and the son here, right? The womb energy, the divine feminine energy. I knew this was going to be masculine dominant with the cards that I pulled, so that's why I brought in this beautiful rose. I got these roses and they're opening and they're gorgeous. This is like a magenta pink color. And so I knew I needed to bring in the feminine, and I'm so glad it came out. The divine feminine and the innocence of the child, right? That's getting back to the heart and the sweetness of life. I love it. So, God, God, Source Creator, what do the earth angels need to surrender? What do you feel the earth angels need to surrender this week, October 4th to the 10th? What can they surrender to you? What can they give you? Surrender and release this week. Surrender to miracles. It's interesting. We have black dolphins and the moon, shadow, more divine feminine energy. It says, be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance, right? Surrender and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. Before I started pulling the cards, I talked about this in the beginning, about believing, about being open, that some experiences and the way through things is beyond what our human ability can see. So when you can surrender to miracles and be open, we talked about this last week in the reading, about looking up, keeping an open heart, open mind to the divine. That's your free will. That's your divine birthright. So you need to call in and open up to miracles, joy, laughter, play, right? God is using us to be an example. People have been watching you. People have been experiencing the challenges, the trials, the tribulations that you've gone through, the things that you've overcome. People have been a witness to that. And when your life, and I know it's even happening as your life changes and you're more happy and you're more joyful and good things are happening to you and you're making changes and money's flowing and friendships and peace, inner peace is flowing in your life, that in of itself is a celebration, is a miracle. And that's what we'll teach. That's what we'll go out and share with the world. We'll lead by example. All right, God. So if you're up against this week, I can't see a way through it. I don't know how that's going to change. I don't know where this is going to come from. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. All you have to do in the moment is surrender it to Creator, the universe, the heavens, Jesus. All you got to do, what is it? I'm going to say it again. Have faith the size of a mustard seed, and Jesus will move your mountains. See, I knew faith was going to come in somewhere. All right, so let me see. God, what prayer do you have for the collective this week? What's the most important thing they need to hear, see, feel, and know as we finish up this reading? Let's go with this one. Spiritual gifts. Raziel. Thank you, Raziel, for helping me channel my gifts and talents. Again, healing hands. Heart open, third eye open. So when we're seeing this drama, when we're fueling the negativity of the world, right? When we're sharing information that fuels that, it can shut down our spiritual sight. All you have to do is unplug from things that feel out of alignment and ask God, Creator, how you can use your spiritual gifts, which is part of your purpose, to be the change, show the change, embody the change, right? Those signs will come. The miracles will come. Raziel is the angel that helps with spiritual insight and wisdom. He helps us understand these complex esoteric teachings, and he can imprint the information in its simplest form so that we can understand, we can evolve and grow. He really works closely with teachers, right? Teachers take complex information of what people don't know and try and they teach people, right? So you have to break down, just like a math teacher, they have to break down the problem and teach or educate the pathway from A to B, right? If you think about that in the 3D world, they have to, or a reading teacher breaks down the words, the letters, right? To eventually create a sentence, a paragraph, a chapter, a book. So you're in a place where you're being asked to break down, bring things back to the simplest. If you're problem solving it, bring it back down. Where can you get more information? Where can you ask questions, right? Where can you go to God, ask for assistance? Your spiritual gifts of insight, intuition, being a teacher, being a voice of God, being an example, an embodiment of love is all being activated. And there's no more that you have to do until you're called. Wow. So I feel like this little blip right here is something we all can work on, right? Explore, understand. And then joy and miracles is like the light. There's a lot of shadow and light here, right? And it all blends together. It's not one or the other. It's not good or bad, right or wrong, positive and negative. It's just experiences that will squeeze us and then enlighten us. Beautiful. I love it. That was a big reading this week. So, well, I kept it under an hour. So let me close space thanking all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the divine mother and father, and all their holy beings of light who would like to assist, and all their holy beings of light who assisted with this guidance for you today. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started continue for as long as it needs to be done. And so it is. All right, friends, it was a pleasure sharing space with you. If you're new to this channel and you want to find out more about me, work with me, read about my services, maybe listen to my podcast, make a donation to the channel, it's all helpful. It's all appreciated. All that information is in the description box below. And I love you. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine. Trust your intuition. And I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.